Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Imagine holding a simple 1998 1-cent coin in your hand, a coin so common at first glance that most people wouldn't give it a second look, yet hidden within its small copper-plated zinc surface lies the astonishing potential to be worth a staggering $510 due to rare and fascinating errors that have captivated collectors and experts alike. A modern-day treasure story hiding in plain sight among everyday pocket change, and as we dive deep into the numismatic mystery surrounding this seemingly ordinary Lincoln penny, you'll discover exactly what makes the 1998 1-cent coin such a sensation in coin-collecting communities and how specific minting anomalies, striking irregularities, die varieties, and other production flaws have transformed some of these coins into big money finds that turn average Americans into lucky holders of hidden wealth. Starting with the fact that the Denver Mint in 1998 struck billions of pennies, which might sound like it would diminish value but in fact makes discovering unique variations even more thrilling, because in such large production runs, mistakes were inevitable, and these mistakes are precisely what collectors are chasing, especially rare double dies where the design appears to be imprinted twice slightly offset, creating a ghostly effect on key design elements such as Lincoln's profile or inscriptions like Liberty, and the date, 1998, which can command hundreds of dollars alone, and when combined with mint mark anomalies, such as repunched D marks or misaligned impressions, the value skyrockets further due to scarcity and collector demand, and it doesn't stop there because off-center strikes where the coin is not perfectly aligned during the minting process can result in part of the design missing, increasing both visual appeal and rarity, with extreme examples of off-center errors reaching 50% or more off from center often fetching hundreds of dollars, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible, while die cracks, cuds, raised blobs of metal caused by broken dies, and planchet flaws where the metal disc was defective prior to striking also add serious value, particularly when they are dramatic or located in key areas such as Lincoln's face or the central fields. But the most buzzworthy and highly sought-after 1998 penny error is the elusive transitional or mule error where a coin design intended for a different denomination or year is mistakenly used on a penny blank, and although extremely rare, such dramatic minting mistakes have made headlines in the coin world, occasionally auctioned for jaw-dropping figures, making the search for oddities among 1998 pennies a legitimate hunt for hidden riches. And don't overlook the minor but still valuable anomalies such as tilted or rotated dies that produce coins with the reverse upside down when flipped, known as rotation errors, that add to the collector allure especially when the angle is extreme. And then there's the realm of strike-through errors where foreign material like grease, thread, or even bits of metal become lodged between the die and planchet during the strike, creating unique and often dramatic impressions on the coin's surface, and these highly individualistic errors, each with their own story and cause, become conversation pieces and collector targets, fetching impressive sums especially when the error is clear and uncommon, and over the years collectors have submitted 1998 pennies with such unusual traits to top grading services like PCGS and NGC, where high grades combined with visible errors can multiply the coin's value, with mint state examples achieving even higher premiums, especially those graded MS65 or above with clean surfaces and bold errors. And there's an added layer of appeal in how these coins are discovered, not in vaults or high-security collections but often in spare change, penny jars, and forgotten drawers, making it possible for everyday people to become part of numismatic history. And because coin collecting continues to grow as a hobby and investment market, coins like the 1998 penny with known error potential gain increasing attention from both new enthusiasts and seasoned professionals, who understand that population rarity and condition scarcity are crucial drivers of value. And this specific coin, with its blend of modern minting history, dramatic errors, and explosive value jumps, serves as a perfect case study for why it's important to look twice at your change, learn the diagnostics of valuable variations, and recognize that a small coin can hold monumental value not just in money but in historical intrigue, manufacturing complexity, and personal satisfaction. And as more of these rare coins are pulled from circulation and certified by grading agencies, the number of discoverable examples dwindles, adding urgency and excitement to the search. So whether it's a dramatic off-center strike, a bold double die, a significant die break, a wild strike through, a major misalignment, or any number of oddities that make a coin 1 in a million, the 1998 D penny stands as a powerful reminder that treasure doesn't always glitter. Sometimes it's just coppery brown and hiding in your pocket, and if you've made it this far, you're now equipped with the insight to identify, appreciate, and possibly profit from one of the most surprising 1-cent coins in American minting history. So if you found this deep dive into the 1998 D penny's true value eye-opening or inspiring, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable coin stories, and keep looking closely at every coin you come across, because the next rare treasure could be resting quietly in your own loose change. Next, 1987 D 1-cent USA coin. What if the next time you sift through your spare change or check the bottom of your drawer, you unknowingly stumble upon a tiny copper-plated treasure that's worth way more than its face value? A simple 1987 D 1-cent coin that, thanks to a stunning combination of rare errors and die anomalies, has been appraised in specific instances at an eye-popping $495, turning it from overlooked pocket change into a collector's dream and a powerful example of how modern coins can harbor incredible value if you know what to look for, because behind its ordinary appearance lies a complex history of minting flaws, striking inconsistencies, and the sheer scale of possibilities that emerged from the Denver Mint in 1987, where massive volumes of pennies were produced, and yet, paradoxically, it's precisely within such high production numbers that rare and spectacular mistakes can occur, making error coins not just possible but inevitable, and savvy collectors have long known that within these massive mint runs lie anomalies that are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, starting with one of the most prized minting mishaps, the double die, in which critical elements of the design, like the date, 1987, the word liberty, or the iconic motto, "In God We Trust," appear twice, slightly offset, giving a ghost-like shadow effect that sharply distinguishes the error from standard coins and elevates its desirability and value, especially when combined with high mint state condition. And even more fascinating is when that doubling is not limited to the obverse side but appears on the reverse too, with areas like the Lincoln Memorial columns, the phrase, 1 cent, or United States of America, showing signs of duplication that can raise the coin's value exponentially. And then there are the elusive off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned between the dies during the minting process, resulting in a coin that appears skewed or partially blank on one side. And the more dramatic the misalignment, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible, the more valuable the coin becomes, often commanding hundreds of dollars or more. And collectors are also constantly on the lookout for die cracks and cuds, which are raised, blob-like features caused by worn or broken dies during the striking process, especially when they occur near Lincoln's profile, along the rims, or across central design areas, giving the coin a dramatic and visually striking appearance that appeals deeply to error specialists and investors alike. While another category of error that continues to gain attention involves strike-throughs, where foreign objects, grease, cloth, wire, or other debris, interfere with the striking process and leave behind strange, sometimes abstract impressions on the coin's surface, making each strike-through penny a one-of-a-kind oddity and an instant conversation starter among collectors, and perhaps even more exciting are coins exhibiting die caps and brockages, advanced errors where one coin becomes fused to a die or another coin during the minting process and leaves behind incredibly distorted or mirrored impressions, often with warped, ghost-like features that fetch high premiums due to their shocking appearance and extreme rarity. And while these might sound like the rarest of the rare, they are known to happen in high-output years like 1987, where quality control may have overlooked some unusual strikes due to the sheer speed of production. And when it comes to mint mark anomalies, the 1987 D has its share of repunched mint marks, RPMs, where the D is stamped more than once at slightly different angles, creating a doubling effect that becomes very valuable when identified by grading services such as PCGS or NGC. And then there are rotated die errors, where flipping the coin reveals that the reverse is rotated at an unusual angle rather than perfectly aligned, with rotations of 90 or even 180 degrees being highly sought after in numismatic circles, especially when confirmed by professional authentication. And with modern coin collectors becoming increasingly focused on error coins, the competition and market for coins like the 1987 D penny is only intensifying, and that means that now is a better time than ever to re-examine your coin jars, change drawers, and flea market finds for signs of valuable traits, especially those that are hiding in plain sight, and while condition is always king in the numismatic world, rare coins like these transcend even their surface grade because the presence of dramatic, visible mistakes instantly sets them apart from the billions of ordinary coins and pushes their value skyward, and the reality is that most people have never looked closely at their 1987 D penny, which makes it all the more likely that treasure lies undiscovered in countless households and bank rolls, just waiting to be identified by someone with a keen eye and a little bit of knowledge, and if the coin is in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded MS65 or above, and also contains one of these highly desirable errors, the value can surge far beyond $495, particularly in online auctions or numismatic expos where collectors actively compete for standout specimens. And history has shown that even modern pennies can reach exceptional price points when all the right factors align, and those factors include rarity, visual appeal, documentation, and market timing, all of which are increasingly favoring error coins as investors and enthusiasts search for the next big sleeper coin, and so the 1987 D penny, while technically part of everyday currency, is anything but ordinary when the lens of numismatic scrutiny is applied, and as collectors dig deeper into these modern era coins, stories continue to emerge of once-forgotten change leading to major financial surprises and new coin discoveries being recognized years, even decades, after they were minted, and with each passing year, the number of high-grade, error-bearing 1987 D coins in circulation decreases, making those that remain all the more coveted, and whether it's the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, or the excitement of flipping a small copper coin into hundreds of dollars, there's something undeniably captivating about the idea that a 1987 D penny can become an icon of hidden value and collector obsession, so the next time you find a penny lying on the ground or rattling in your pocket, give it a closer look. It might just be one of the rare few that turns history and copper into cash, and if you found this deep dive into the astonishing story of the 1987 D penny worth $495 valuable and eye-opening, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable coin facts, and keep checking your change because the next great discovery could be sitting in your palm right now. Next 2003 D 1 cent USA coin. Pocket change becomes a pathway to real value and numismatic adventure, where every penny has a potential story, and today we're diving deep into one of the most unexpectedly valuable coins in circulation, a 2003 D 1 cent coin, a Lincoln penny minted in Denver that, under specific and astonishing circumstances, has reached a valuation of $462 because of rare and surprising errors and production anomalies that have elevated it far beyond its 1 cent face value and into the world of high-interest collecting and historical intrigue, and as we explore the fascinating details behind what makes this ordinary-looking coin so valuable, you'll discover the astonishing types of minting errors, die varieties, planchet flaws, and misstrikes that have pushed select 2003 D pennies into the spotlight among collectors. Beginning with the foundational understanding that while the United States Mint operates under strict quality control guidelines, the sheer volume of coins produced, especially at the Denver Mint in the early 2000s, makes it statistically inevitable that mistakes, some minor and some monumental, will occur, and these minting mistakes, often invisible to the untrained eye, can render a coin highly collectible and significantly more valuable than its nominal worth, with one of the most popular and widely sought after being the double die error, which occurs when the coin is struck by a die that was engraved with a slightly misaligned second impression of the design, resulting in key features like the date, 2003, the word, liberty, and the motto, in God we trust, appearing doubled or shadowed in a subtle yet detectable way, and although many double dies are faint, dramatic examples stand out vividly and can be worth hundreds of dollars on their own depending on their clarity, rarity, and condition, and in the case of the 2003 D penny, double dies have been reported in both the obverse and reverse designs, particularly in the intricate architectural details of the Lincoln Memorial or in the lettering of United States of America, and when such doubling is accompanied by high-grade mint condition, such as MS65 or higher certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, the value increases even more significantly, while other coins from this same year and mint mark are known to exhibit off-center strikes. A common but highly desirable mint error where the coin blank is improperly positioned between the dies. During the striking process, leading to a coin that is partially blank on one side or has the design shifted far from center, with values rising sharply the more off-center the strike is, especially when the date and mint mark remain fully visible, often reaching prices well over $200, and then there are planchet flaws, errors that occur before the coin is even struck, such as improper alloy mixes, clipped planchets where a portion of the coin is missing due to a miscut, or laminations where the outer metal layer peels or flakes off, exposing the underlying structure of the coin and making it a visually fascinating and rare find, and these flaws, although often dismissed by casual observers, can greatly affect the coin's appeal and rarity, especially when the error is significant or positioned in a way that enhances the visual intrigue of the piece, while another category of errors that make 2003 D pennies exceptionally collectible includes die breaks and cuds, which are raised metal blobs or lines that appear on the surface of the coin due to breaks or damage in the die itself, and when a die begins to crack, pieces of it can fall away, causing large raised areas, called cuds, to form on the struck coin, and these can appear anywhere but are especially dramatic when they cross Lincoln's face, cover part of the date, or disrupt major design elements, and large, well-positioned cuds are often the subject of bidding wars among collectors who understand their rarity and visual impact, and perhaps even more dramatic are strike-through errors, which happen when foreign objects like cloth, metal shavings, wire, grease, or even thread get between the die and the coin during the striking process, leaving behind deep impressions, mysterious shapes, or distorted features that are completely unique to that coin, turning it into a one-of-a-kind collectible whose value depends on the size, location, and type of material involved in the strike-through. And while some of these coins may look strange or damaged at first glance, to the trained eye they are minting marvels with real monetary value, and in some spectacular cases, coins from 2003 D have been discovered with brockage errors, where a previously struck coin sticks to the die and impresses a mirrored design onto the next blank, producing a coin with a dramatically distorted, reversed image on one side that can fetch substantial premiums at auction, especially when preserved in uncirculated condition. And then there are rotated die errors, which occur when the front and back dies are not correctly aligned and result in a reverse design that is tilted from its normal position when the coin is flipped, and the greater the degree of rotation, particularly if it's 90 degrees or more, the higher the value collectors are willing to assign, especially when certified and graded. And while all these physical errors enhance value, it's the combination of rarity, demand, and condition that really determines the final price a coin might fetch, which is why coins that combine multiple features, such as a double die with a rotated reverse or a cud error on a high-grade strike, can sell for extraordinary sums. And as time passes and more of these error coins are pulled from circulation or found in collections and bank rolls, their availability decreases and their value increases, making now an ideal time to look more closely at every 2003 D penny you come across. And beyond error-specific interest, many collectors seek full red, RD, designation coins, those with original mint luster and full copper coloration, because color is another vital grading criterion for modern pennies, and a 2003 D error coin that's also full red and in gem condition can exponentially increase in value, especially when it becomes part of a competitive registry set where collectors strive to obtain the finest known examples. And the market for error coins has been heating up in recent years due to a growing awareness among younger collectors, online auction exposure, and educational numismatic content making rare coin hunting more accessible and exciting than ever. And this interest has spilled over into social media where coin hunters proudly share their finds and celebrate the thrill of discovering an overlooked gem. And in this environment, the 2003 D penny has proven to be a star, often underestimated but increasingly appreciated for its error-producing potential and wide variety of collectible traits. And because the Denver Mint was known for several striking issues during this production period, it's likely that there are still many valuable specimens waiting to be found in coin jars, rolls, or even spare change from everyday transactions. And stories continue to emerge of individuals who, through simple curiosity or persistence, discovered rare error coins worth hundreds or thousands of dollars hiding in plain sight. And these stories serve as a powerful reminder that value doesn't always shine brightly, Sometimes it's copper-colored, common-looking, and quietly resting in your pocket, and so whether you're an experienced collector, a curious beginner, or simply someone intrigued by the idea of finding treasure where others see nothing, this 2003 D penny represents an extraordinary opportunity to connect with history, economics, manufacturing, and mystery all in one tiny piece of metal, so don't underestimate the coins you handle every day because some of them may contain secrets that only the sharpest eyes and most informed minds can detect. And now that you know what to look for, doubled dies, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, cuds, strike-throughs, rotated dies, brockages, and full red luster, you're better equipped to recognize real value when you see it. And if this deep exploration into the hidden worth of the 2003 D 1-cent coin inspired you or opened your eyes to the fascinating world of error coins, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable coin stories, and keep searching because the next rare treasure might be resting quietly in the palm of your hand. Next, 1992 D 1-cent USA coin that uncovers hidden treasures from everyday coins and explores how seemingly insignificant pocket change can carry astonishing value. And today we are delving into the fascinating story of the 1992 D 1-cent coin, a Lincoln penny struck at the Denver Mint that has stunned collectors and numismatists by reaching valuations of up to $248 due to specific and rare errors and minting anomalies that have made this otherwise ordinary coin an extraordinary find for those fortunate enough to spot the right features, because while the vast majority of 1992 D pennies remain common and worth only their face value, there exists a small handful of specimens that contain highly sought-after minting mistakes that transform them into prized collectibles, and understanding what makes these particular coins so valuable requires a deep dive into the minting process, the nature of die creation, and the various ways in which small deviations can result in significant collector interest, beginning with the context that in 1992 the U.S. Mint struck billions of pennies across its facilities, including Denver, but within these mass production runs, rare mistakes emerged, and one of the most famous and valuable of these is the so-called close AM variety, where the spacing between the letters A and M in America on the reverse of the coin is much narrower than on regular business strike coins, a detail that may sound minor but is actually a result of a reverse die intended for proof coins mistakenly being used for circulation strikes, and this transitional variety is exceedingly rare, with only a handful of examples confirmed to exist, and those that have been certified have fetched hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on their condition, with circulated versions known to sell for $248 and up. And when collectors discover this close AM feature on a 1992 D penny, they know they have something exceptional, but the value can increase even more when the coin is in high grade, such as MS64 or above, as designated by grading services like PCGS or NGC, and that's just the beginning because in addition to the close AM variety, other errors such as doubled dies are also known to add tremendous value, where the coin's design appears to be duplicated slightly due to a misalignment during the hubbing process that creates the working dies. And these doubled images can show up on key design elements like Lincoln's portrait, the date, the inscriptions, Liberty and In God We Trust, or even on the reverse in the words, United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum, and while some doubling is minor, bold and dramatic double dies are hotly pursued by collectors and can lead to the coin's value skyrocketing, especially when authenticated and encapsulated by a top-tier grading service. And then there are off-center strike errors, where the coin was not properly aligned within the minting press and the design appears partially missing, which increases in value the more off-center the strike is, particularly if the date and mint mark are still visible, and severe off-center strikes of the 1992 D penny have been auctioned for well over $200, making this another viable route for value in this otherwise common year. And let's not forget about die cracks, die chips, and cuds, all of which are signs of die degradation that result in raised, irregular metal formations on the surface of the coin, such as lines across Lincoln's face or jacket, blobs along the rim, or missing portions of the design caused by pieces of the die breaking away, and while these are technically flaws, they are considered unique and interesting by collectors, particularly when they are dramatic and located in visually prominent areas. And another key error to look for is the strike-through error, which occurs when foreign material such as grease, cloth, or metal shavings becomes lodged between the die and the planchet during the striking process, creating deep indentations or ghost-like shapes in the coin that make each one completely unique, and collectors love these kinds of errors for their artistic and unpredictable nature. And in addition to these striking errors, there are also planchet-related anomalies that can affect the coin's value, such as clipped planchets where a portion of the coin is physically missing due to a miscut during the blanking process, and lamination errors where a layer of the coin's surface peels away or flakes off, exposing the underlying metal, and both of these errors, while unusual, are relatively easy to identify and can dramatically boost a coin's value when paired with a clear date and mint mark. And then we have rotated die errors, where the obverse and reverse of the coin do not line up as they should when flipped. And a perfectly rotated reverse at 180 degrees can be a rare and exciting find that instantly catches a collector's attention, particularly when paired with good condition and other errors, and the 1992 D penny has been found with examples of most of these error categories, making it a fertile hunting ground for error coin enthusiasts. And given the sheer number of coins struck that year, it's entirely possible that additional error varieties have yet to be discovered, meaning that even now collectors are searching coin rolls, old jars, and pocket change for that elusive specimen that could be worth hundreds, and the discovery of a rare variety or bold error doesn't require special tools, just a magnifying glass, a sharp eye, and some basic knowledge of what to look for. And for those interested in investing in numismatics, error coins like the 1992 D penny offer a unique opportunity to get involved at a low cost with the potential for significant upside. And over time, as more error coins are removed from circulation and placed in private collections, the remaining population becomes scarcer, pushing values even higher. And when a coin like the 1992 D penny is both rare and desirable, it becomes a must-have for set builders, registry participants, and type collectors alike. And with the market for error coins heating up due to online auctions, social media exposure, and a growing number of young collectors entering the hobby, now is an ideal time to take a second look at every penny you come across. Because what appears to be just another coin may actually be a valuable anomaly waiting to be discovered. And stories continue to emerge of people who unknowingly spent or gave away coins that were worth hundreds or more simply because they didn't know what to look for. And with just a little research and attention, anyone can learn to spot the traits that distinguish a rare and valuable coin from an ordinary one. And if the 1992 D penny you find has a close AM reverse, a bold double die, a dramatic off-center strike, a prominent die break, a rare strike through, a clipped planchet, or any combination of these, it's time to get that coin authenticated and graded, because it could very well be worth $248 or even more. And if the coin is in mint state with a brilliant red copper color, its value only increases, since color, luster, and condition all play a significant role in the final market price of a coin. And as grading services continue to certify and document more of these errors, the known populations grow but the demand doesn't diminish, and collectors are always looking for higher grade examples or coins with more dramatic errors to add to their collections. So the 1992 D penny, with its combination of transitional varieties, die anomalies, and unique minting errors, represents an exciting and potentially profitable opportunity for anyone who is willing to learn and look a little closer at the change in their pockets. And now that you know what makes this particular coin so special, you can start your own search for the next big discovery in modern numismatics. And if you found this exploration into the value and history of the 1992 D penny both fascinating and useful, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips and discoveries, and keep your eyes open because the next rare and valuable penny could be sitting quietly in your spare change right now. Next, 2015 D 1 cent USA coin. Today we're exploring a coin that seems completely ordinary at first glance but under the right conditions has stunned collectors and enthusiasts with its surprising value and fascinating flaws. The 2015 D 1 cent coin, minted at the Denver Mint. A coin that has gained notable attention in the numismatic world due to a variety of minting mistakes and error-driven anomalies that in some documented cases have resulted in a valuation as high as $414, turning this modern-day Lincoln penny into a must-watch piece for collectors and coin hunters alike. And what makes this particular year and mint mark so special isn't that the coin was expected to be rare or valuable. In fact, the US Mint produced billions of these coins in 2015, but rather that within those billions of strikes, a number of unusual minting errors were introduced. And when rare enough and preserved in excellent condition, these mistakes transform the coin from pocket change into highly sought-after collectibles, and among the most notable and most valuable of these errors is the doubled die, a feature that occurs when the die that strikes the coin carries an unintended doubled image due to a misalignment during the die creation process, and when that flawed die strikes hundreds or thousands of coins before it is replaced. Each of those coins bears that same doubling in its design, most often seen in the inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2015. And sometimes even on the reverse in United States of America, or E pluribus unum, and while some doubling is subtle and difficult to spot without magnification, other examples show dramatic ghosting or shadow effects that can be clearly seen by eye and are instantly valuable, with high-grade specimens certified by PCGS or NGC fetching hundreds of dollars at auction depending on clarity, magnitude, and overall coin quality, and in the case of the 2015 D penny, examples of strong doubling on the date or Lincoln's profile have been identified and closely tracked by collectors eager to add an exciting modern error to their collections, and this error alone could elevate the value of a single coin into the hundreds, but that's only one part of the story, because the 2015 D penny has also been found with impressive off-center strike errors, which occur when the blank planchet is not properly seated in the coin press, resulting in a design that is shifted away from center, sometimes to such an extent that part of the design is cut off entirely, and the further the strike is from center, the more dramatic and valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date and mint mark remain visible, which adds verification and traceability to the piece and increases demand, and coins with off-center strikes of 20% or more that show a clear date and mint mark often command significant premiums, with prices exceeding $200 for sharp examples and even more for coins graded mint state, and this error becomes even more compelling when paired with full red, RD, color designation, indicating the coin has retained its original copper luster, further raising its grade and appeal. And that's not all, because another type of error that has appeared on 2015 D pennies is the die break, a type of flaw that results from physical cracks in the striking die, which over time can produce raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface, often referred to as die cracks or cuds depending on severity and location. And while small die cracks are common and may not drastically increase value, large or dramatic cuds, particularly when they interrupt Lincoln's portrait or prominent text, can be incredibly desirable and collectible, with values reaching into the hundreds depending on their size and placement, especially if the coin is otherwise well struck and preserved. And collectors are always on the lookout for such coins because each cud is unique and acts as a fingerprint for that specific error die, making it a one-of-a-kind specimen. And then there's the strike-through error, another popular and value-boosting category where foreign material like grease, thread, metal shards, or even bits of cloth become trapped between the die and the coin blank during striking, causing strange and often dramatic impressions or missing areas in the final coin. And these strike-throughs are particularly exciting because they vary so widely in form and result in highly unique visual effects that turn a normal-looking penny into a visually striking error that is instantly worth more. And examples of 2015 D pennies with such strike-throughs have surfaced and been sold for impressive figures, especially when the affected area involves Lincoln's face or critical design elements. And moving beyond surface errors, we also find planchet errors, which involve issues with the coin blank before it is even struck, including lamination errors where part of the coin's surface peels away, or separates due to poor metal bonding, or clipped planchets where a portion of the coin is physically missing because of misalignment during the blanking stage of production. And such errors, especially when they are dramatic or positioned in an aesthetically interesting way, can elevate the coin's worth substantially, particularly in cases where the error is obvious and the coin retains a sharp strike in other areas. And another valuable anomaly that shows up in the 2015 D series is the rotated die error, a mistake that happens when the front and back dies are misaligned and result in a reverse design that doesn't appear in the correct position when the coin is flipped. And while minor rotations are relatively common, coins showing a rotated reverse of 90 degrees or more are extremely collectible and can fetch a hefty price, especially when combined with good surface preservation and a sharp strike. And although these errors individually make a coin valuable, The real jackpot comes when two or more errors appear on the same coin, such as an off-center strike with a double die or a strike-through with a dramatic cut, which compound rarity and uniqueness and increase collector interest, and high-grade examples with such combined errors have been known to fetch hundreds of dollars at auction, sometimes climbing past the $400 mark if the coin is in pristine condition and fully authenticated. And the importance of grading can't be overstated when it comes to error coins like these, because third-party certification from trusted services like PCGS or NGC not only confirms the authenticity of the error but also assures buyers of the coin's condition and market value, helping the coin reach its full price potential. And for the 2015 D penny coins that have been graded MS65 or higher with full red coloration and a prominent error regularly break the $250 mark and sometimes far exceed it depending on demand, and given how recent the coin is, many people don't yet realize its potential value and continue to spend or discard these coins without a second thought, which only increases the rarity of surviving specimens in high grade and makes them more desirable to collectors. And because this penny is still relatively young in numismatic terms, the discovery of new varieties and error combinations is still ongoing, with many examples yet to be found in circulation, making now an excellent time to begin searching for overlooked value in bank rolls, change jars, and cash registers. And with the rising popularity of modern error coins and increasing interest in collecting among younger generations, coins like the 2015 D penny will continue to gain attention and increase in value, especially as online platforms, social media groups, and auction houses promote and publicize noteworthy discoveries, helping to create a more educated and engaged collector base that understands what to look for and how to identify valuable traits, and even those without extensive experience can begin checking their change and examining coins with a simple magnifying glass, focusing on the date, mint mark, inscriptions, and design alignment for any signs of doubling, misstrikes, or other unusual features, and even the smallest anomaly can point to a rare error if you know what you're looking at. So the 2015 D penny serves not only as a valuable collectible in its own right but also as a symbol of how even the most unassuming modern coin can hold unexpected worth. And whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just getting started, the 2015 D penny offers a rich opportunity for discovery, education, and potential profit. And if you enjoyed learning about this coin's incredible value and the fascinating minting mistakes that make it so special, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more numismatic content, and don't forget to check your change because the next rare penny worth hundreds could be sitting in your hand right now. Last 2016 1-cent USA coin, we uncover hidden treasures hiding in plain sight, where something as small and ordinary as a penny can be transformed into a collector's gem worth hundreds of dollars. And today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2016 1-cent coin from the United States. A coin that's been found with so many compelling errors and varieties that some rare specimens have commanded up to $280 in value, and while its face value remains just 1 cent, its real worth lies in the minting mistakes and production flaws that occurred at various stages of its creation, especially those originating from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. And in this deep dive, we'll peel back the layers on why this tiny piece of currency is worth big money, what to look for, and how these rare anomalies transform a common coin into a numismatic sensation. Starting with the historical context, the 2016 penny continues the iconic Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909, a series rich with history and transformation, and in 2010, the Union Shield design replaced the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, symbolizing unity after the Civil War, with a clean, crisp design featuring a large central shield and a scroll bearing the phrase, E pluribus unum. And while the 2016 design followed the standard template, what made certain 2016 coins special and immensely valuable were the unintended imperfections during the minting process, beginning with double die errors, one of the most sought-after types of minting anomalies where the die itself is misaligned during the hubbing process, resulting in doubling of certain design elements on the coin, and collectors particularly look for doubling on the obverse, such as on the inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 2016, which can appear shadowed or repeated and are most visible under magnification but in many cases are distinguishable to the naked eye, and when such a coin is found in uncirculated or high Mint state condition like MS64 or MS65, the value skyrockets due to both the rarity and desirability among collectors, and even more fascinating is the presence of die cracks, where fissures appear on the coin as raised lines due to breaks in the die used to strike it, and these cracks can vary from subtle hairline fractures to dramatic raised marks that cross the coin's surface, often appearing near Lincoln's head or along the edges of the Union shield, and these are unique in that no two die cracks are exactly alike, making each coin a one-of-a-kind item. And next we turn to off-center strikes, another popular error type found in some 2016 pennies where the planchet, the blank metal disc, is not properly centered when struck, leading to a coin where part of the design is missing or cut off, with the most desirable examples showing around 50% off-center with a full visible date. And such coins easily attract collectors and can bring in over $100 depending on condition and severity of the error, and similar to off-center strikes are clipped planchet errors, where the blank itself is improperly cut, leading to a crescent-shaped clip on the edge of the coin, and these clipped coins are highly collectible when they retain full detail elsewhere. And as we dive deeper into the flaws that increase a 2016 penny's value, we can't ignore the importance of transitional errors, although rare for this year. Some examples show remnants of older dies or misused planchets, and although 2016 was well into the zinc-core era of pennies, rumors and speculative listings occasionally pop up suggesting the existence of bronze or copper planchets used by mistake, which, if true and verified, would turn any such coin into a multi-thousand-dollar treasure. And then we have the ever-interesting die breaks and cuds, where chunks of the die break off or chip away, leading to parts of the design being missing or replaced by raised blobs of metal, usually near the rims or lettering. And coins with large cuds are among the most dramatic visually, making them highly appealing to collectors. And then we have the lesser-known but equally valuable RPMs, repunched mint marks, which occur when the D mint mark for Denver is punched into the die more than once and at slightly different angles, creating a shadowed or doubled appearance. And while modern RPMs are harder to come by due to improved technology, some have still surfaced in the 2016 batch, and the value of these RPM error significantly increases if the coin is otherwise well struck and preserved. And another fascinating aspect lies in die polishing lines, where the mint workers attempt to clean or refurbish dies, leaving fine lines that may affect the fields around Lincoln's profile or the shield. And although not technically errors, they are die varieties that become more interesting when they impact the design or lettering in visible ways. And then we turn to strike-through errors, where foreign materials, such as grease, wire, or even bits of fabric, get caught between the die and the planchet, resulting in ghosted or distorted images that can make for bizarre and rare coin features. And these are often overlooked unless carefully examined, but when confirmed, such strike-through errors can add significant value depending on the object and clarity of the strike. And the 2016 penny also has its share of misaligned die strikes, where the obverse and reverse dies are not perfectly centered against one another, resulting in one side appearing slightly off and even causing some coins to have a visible rim or collar clash. And while minor misalignments are relatively common, those that are severe and still show full dates and design elements can pull considerable prices from collectors seeking error coins with clear, dramatic effects. And when we consider all these potential anomalies combined with strong eye appeal, high grade, and low wear, the value of a 2016 penny can easily move from a cent to $280 or more in the right conditions. And with grading agencies like PCGS and NGC providing authentication and population reports, verified error coins become even more desirable and can fetch premium prices at auction or through private collectors. And in many cases, coins submitted for grading come back with labels like double die obverse, off-center strike, or clipped planchet, each of which lends official credibility to the coin's uniqueness, driving up demand. And let's not forget the importance of coin roll hunting, where hobbyists and collectors search through bank rolls and pocket change to find hidden gems. And 2016 pennies are still in circulation, making it entirely possible to find a rare error in your daily change. And when you do, it's crucial to store the coin properly to prevent further wear, using 2x2 cardboard holders, plastic flips, or coin capsules. And to document the coin's origin, error type, and current condition, as this record keeping helps build provenance, which further increases value. and for anyone interested in entering the numismatic world or learning how to identify valuable 2016 pennies, starting with a basic 10x magnifier or jeweler's loupe can reveal a world of detail otherwise missed by the naked eye, and it's often these small, overlooked clues, an extra stroke in the mint mark, a raised bump from a cud, or a slight shift in alignment, that reveal a coin's true value. And with online communities and resources like CoinTalk, Reddit's r/coins, and YouTube channels devoted to coin errors, collectors can share, learn, and grow their knowledge, turning the search for valuable 2016 pennies into both a hobby and a potential source of income. And auction sites like eBay and Heritage Auctions regularly feature rare 2016 pennies with bidding wars pushing values well above estimated prices, especially when the coin has strong provenance and a certified grade. And while not every 2016 penny is valuable, the thrill lies in the hunt, the moment of discovery, and the realization that your 1 cent could be one of the rare few that breaks through the noise of mass production and becomes a legendary error coin worth hundreds. And that possibility continues to inspire collectors of all levels to examine every coin carefully, to never dismiss a penny again, and to remember that in the vast world of coin collecting, every detail matters, every imperfection tells a story, and every mistake made by a minting machine could mean a fortune in your pocket. So don't overlook your change, because your next 2016 penny might just be one of those rare anomalies carrying history, error, and value all in one. And if you enjoyed this deep exploration of the 2016 1-cent coin and its hidden potential, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more fascinating coin stories and discoveries, and stay tuned for our next episode where we uncover even more hidden gems in your change.